Упражнение для бровей. Начинать все. Смотреть в монитор и могут спокойно наслаждаться яркими красками окружающего их мира. Для того, чтобы избавиться от тяжести бровей, нависших над глазами, попробуйте сделать небольшую гимнастику, поднимите вверх как можно выше. Чувствуете, как напряглись ваши уши? Запомните.
Упражнения для бровей. Начинать все комплексы упражнений для глаз для улучшения зрения лучше с данного задания. Когда глаза постоянно находятся в сильном напряжении, брови словно наползают на ресницы. Упражнения для бровей. Начинать все комплексы лучше с данного задания. Когда глаза постоянно находятся в сильном напряжении, брови словно наползают на ресницы. Однако это не является которые необыкновенны, часами смотреть в монитор и могут спокойно наслаждаться яркими красками окружающего мира. Для того, чтобы избавиться от тяжести бровей, нависших над глазами, чувствуете, как напряглись ваши уши? Запомните это ощущение. Вам нужно будет достигнуть его снова, не поднимая при этом брови. Не расстраивайтесь, что у вас не получается сделать это с первого раза. Немного тренировок, хороший настрой и такая гимнастика для зрения поможет вам увидеть мир яркими, широко распахнутыми глазами, свободными от гнета бровей. упражнений для бровей. Начинает все комплексы упражнений для глаз для улучшения зрения лучше с данного задания. Когда глаза постоянно находятся в сильном напряжении, брови словно наползают на ресницы. Однако этого не наблюдается у детей, которые не обременены необходимостью часами смотреть в монитор и могут спокойно наслаждаться яркими красками окружающего их мира. Для того, чтобы избавиться от тяжести бровей, нависших над глазами, попробуйте сделать небольшую гимнастику. Подписывайтесь на канал. Упражнения. Улучшение. Занимайтесь восстановлением и дальше, чтобы получить максимальный эффект. Здоровья вам и вашим близким. Подписывайтесь на канал.
In the sky, gazing far into the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you, for you.
Sterling, buen cruce defensivo por parte de Suecia, que quería salir hacia el frente con velocidad de Emil Forsberg. No llegó a esa pelota, la pelea con todo Jordan Henderson, también Raheem Sterling. Al final puntearon la pelota a los ingleses y la mandaron hacia afuera. Será saque lateral para Suecia.
Este equipo de Suecia, Briseño, Jefe Gómez, que en los últimos años se ha considerado como los matagigantes en la eliminatoria mundialista. Derrotaron 2-1 a Francia, esa Francia que hoy es semifinalista y que con su juventud ha sorprendido a propios extraños. Dejaron también en la fase de eliminación para el Mundial a la Holanda, esa que nos eliminó nosotros el pasado Mundial. En la fase de grupos de esta competencia a Alemania, la cual también decimos, Briseño, sí, la peor Alemania de toda la historia. Y a uno de los que también podría haber sido considerado favoritos, como Suiza, al haberle ganado 1-0. El estilo de juego del equipo tal vez no es muy ofensivo, pero sí efectivo, bueno, utilizando sus Italia, prioridades. ¿No? Y también Italia, por supuesto, en el repechaje.
Sí. Arriba la tiene Suecia precisamente, alcanzaba a peinarla como podía Víctor Claesson, ya la recupera el equipo inglés y Harry Kane va a mandar a Raheem Sterling por velocidad frente a Granville. Al final el capitán que viene el sueco, porque hablábamos de la velocidad de Sterling, ni siquiera en esta le ganó a un ya veterano Andreas Granville. Qué bien terminó cubriendo, después barrió y no quiere problemas, la manda hacia afuera.
Más vale diablo por viejo que por diablo. Bueno, y en experiencia le supo meter el cuerpo.
Primero lo saca de la cuenta,
le supo meter el cuerpo para que Radling no se fuera y salió avante el defensor sueco.
Contra el Raheem Sterling dentro del área y cuidado porque estaba de espaldas. Ahora es Jesse Lingard que tiene que apoyarse. Al final de cuentas termina yendo hacia el costado con Kyle Walker con Kieran Trippier en el apoyo con Walker, otra vez con Kieran que la va a levantar al área, no, otra vez con Walker, nueva oportunidad del servicio, directo a las manos de Robin Olsen cuando rebasamos ya los 10 minutos de esta primera mitad, a través de W Radio, W Deportes y Cadena W, desde la Samara Arena. Seguimos 0 para Suecia, 0 para Inglaterra. Pero qué bien lo de Granville Gómez, porque justamente si hay algo en lo que le puede ganar sin problemas Sterling a la defensa sueca, es en la velocidad. Y ahora tenían campo abierto. Y la verdad es que la cobertura fue fantástica del capitán.
Y nada más porque tiene 33 años, pero ya que lo veo de amarillo y azul, pues yo ya me lo estoy llevando a México, para jugar con cierto equipo se desempeña.
Terminó peinando el ofensivo, pero va hacia afuera. Esa pelota será saque lateral que Kieran Trippier del Tottenham vendrá a poner en movimiento. Picaba Jesse Lingard, pero nadie más se acerca. ¿Quién la quiere? ¿Quién la pide? ¿Quién se mueve para Inglaterra? Jordan Henderson también le pide a sus compañeros que se acerquen. Hay 4 opciones. Kieran Trippier puede ir con Lingard, con Henderson, también con John Stones o atrás con Kyle Walker. Todavía no se decide. Ahora sí viene ya el servicio. Más adelante para Harry Kane y Andreas Granqvist. Es el capitán el que revienta la pelota para Suecia. La pelean por arriba. Termina cayendo John Stones. El árbitro dice que no hay falta y cuidado porque aquí Suecia le va a pegar. Suecia le va a pegar. ¡Disparo que se va por encima! Le pegaron de larga distancia, se tuvieron confianza, la tenía Viktor Claesson, le dieron tiempo, le dieron espacio, saco derechazo que se fue por arriba. Jordan Pickford de inmediato se levanta y mete regaño tremendo a sus compañeros porque lo dejaron libre, le dieron el espacio, probó a puerta. Ahí está Suecia, Alejandro Gómez.
Sí, la verdad es que Pickford ahí se avienta simplemente por precaución, porque luego ve que el disparo va hacia arriba y pues ya recoge los brazos, pero sí se levanta muy enojado que se parece mucho a William Yarbrough, ¿no? Del ex de León, y que es un muy buen arquero, que tuvo ese detalle buenísimo en la tanda de penales contra Colombia.
¿Yarbrough? Pickford.
No, Pickford. Yarbrough nunca va a jugar mundial, no creo, la verdad. Y
perfecto, cuando ya la tiene Inglaterra que va hacia el frente. Jesse Lingard, Kieran Trippier pegadito a la banda. Ya picó Jordan Henderson, prefieren regresar con Jesse. Aquí está Lingard, ¿quién la quiere? ¿Quién la pide? ¿Quién se mueve? Raheem Sterling, que se quiere dar toda la vuelta de espaldas al área. Se apoyaba con John Stones y abre de primera intención para Ashley Young por banda de la izquierda. Podía meter el servicio mejor con Raheem Sterling, le salieron 2 a la marca y por eso tiene que retrasar con Harry Maguire, que de primera intención otra vez va con Young. Ashley la va a levantar al área, que remata, que rechaza, la termina sacando la defensa y después hay una falta de Inglaterra. Termina siendo Harry Maguire.
Ofender es sobre las bandas y después cuando llega a 3/4 de cancha intentar el centro. Va a ser muy complicado que el equipo inglés pueda generar daño así, porque solamente Harry Kane mide más de 1,80. Va a ser muy complicado que Inglaterra, en base a los centros y el juego aéreo, pueda conseguir una superioridad.
Sí, complicado por arriba. Pero aún así, Inglaterra es de los que mejor trabajan la pelota detenida.
Sí.
Y así han caído varios goles para los ingleses en esta Copa del Mundo. Entonces, habrá que ver cómo... Porque lo que decías, Gómez, si los 6 goles que tiene Kane, varios llegan de rebotes y demás, pero es en la táctica fija, en el tiro libre, en el tiro de esquina.
Una jugada trabajada a balón parado.
Me voy a escuchar muy osorista. Muy osorista.
A ver.
Pero eso... goles a pelota parada de los que tú estás comentando, Briseño, vinieron ante Túnez, por ser considerado una potencia física.
Ok.
Ante Panamá.
Okay.
Panamá, lo que podemos decir es, anotaron un gol, su primer gol en el Mundial, y eso ya es histórico. Ustedes dejarán lo demás.
Después anotaron otros 2.
Contra Bélgica no anotaron, con todo que metieron a la banca. Y ante Colombia fue de penal. Esa jugada, esa pelota parada, tampoco.
Que va a llegar Suecia, cuidado porque quería quitar la pelota. Al final, ahí estaba Harry Maguire y Ashley Young, el que termina quedándose con la pelota. Atrás de Ali, Ashley Young, y va a ir con su portero, con Jordan Pickford, que la detiene de pierna izquierda y no quiere problemas. Le pone aire, la manda hasta el medio campo. Harry Kane iba por ella, pero le quitaron la pelota muy fácil. Victor Lindelof le metió el cuerpo. Después Emil Kraft, que la levanta. No puede llegar a la Toivonen. Tiene que hacer el recorrido Victor Lindelof, porque será lateral, pero muy metidos en su propio terreno de juego.
O sea, David está sugiriendo que Inglaterra es un equipo inflado, que es un espejismo.
No, señor. No, para nada. tiene cualidades, pero si
Pero
hoy...
le ganó a Túnez, a Panamá, a los suplentes, perdió con los suplentes y también apenas y con Colombia. O sea, sí, pero no.
No digo que sea inflado, digo que ha tenido también suerte. Y también la suerte es parte de este juego, aunque digan que no, también influye.
Cuando llegamos a 15. Primera mitad a través de W Radio y W Deportes, cadena W, desde la Samara Arena. Seguimos 0-0 entre Suecia e Inglaterra. Suecia, que quería salir, le rebotó la pelota a Harry Kane. Será saque lateral para el equipo de amarillo y azul. El día de hoy, Inglaterra que el mundo. Kraft llegó con el servicio lateral, querían peinarla desde el fondo. Harry Maguire, que la levanta. Dele Alli, lo estaban cargando por de espalda. También Jordan Henderson, que la quiere pelear desde atrás. Ekdal, después Dele Alli. Forsberg ya reparte el juego con Ludwig Augustinsson. Se pasó del medio campo y después se le olvidaba la pelota. Tiene que regresar y apoyarse para que Ekdal entre en contacto con la pelota. Este va con Andreas. Aquí está el capitán Granqvist y también Larsson y Granqvist. Ahora con Victor Lindelof, que tiene la calma, que tiene el espacio. Le caían de inmediato y Emil Kraft ahora es el que la levanta para que corra y corra. Hola Toivonen, se le metieron en el camino. Toivonen la peleaba, pero muy bien la cobertura de John Stones para que esa pelota termine saliendo y sea saque de portería para Jordan Pickford.
Aunque se destaque, o sea, cuando plantea el juego más ofensivo, el primer tiempo contra Suiza me gustó mucho. Lo que le hizo de partido al equipo mexicano, en donde casi siempre cargó con ese desgaste ofensivo, fue maravilloso. O sea, saben atacar y en lo que llevamos de este encuentro se han dedicado más a esperar a Inglaterra y por ahí el pelotazo que a otra cosa.
Saben ubicar muy bien los espacios que deja el rival. Cuando tienen el balón son muy inteligentes. ¿Por qué? No es de sorprenderse. Su técnico, Jane Anderson, fue técnico olímpico de balón mano, te dejo.
Aquí se viene Augustinsson, que metía el servicio bien. Kieran Trippier se metía en el camino para evitar que dejara pasar la pelota. Será saque lateral para Suecia.
Anderson fue técnico del deporte de balón mano, consiguiendo 2 oros y 3 platas. Es por eso que la Federación Sueca lo trajo, para poder digerir algo de ese deporte en el planteamiento y la táctica que hasta el momento le está dando frutos.
Va a llegar el servicio para Suecia. Bien, John Stones de cabeza, alejando el peligro. Quería pelear Larsson con Raheem Sterling. Al final, el balón de rebotado. Kieran Trippier para Jordan Henderson, que la pica y le va a caer a Raheem Sterling. Y cuidado porque este tiene velocidad. Sebastian Larsson también ya lo alcanzó. Por izquierda está Harry Kane, por derecha iba pasando al poste. Estuvo cerca Inglaterra.
Y la verdad es que una jugada muy peligrosa, muy bien llevada de parte de los ingleses, pero aquí el árbitro que andaba primero muy nerviosito y muy regañón, a mí me parece que después debió haber sacado la amarilla para Larsson, Sebastian Larsson, que va a jale el jugador inglés que tú describiste cómo se fue metiendo, después pierde el balón por producto un poco de esos jalones y ahí viene Kane de atrás y hace contacto con el esférico.
La primera diferente de Inglaterra ya no fue centro, fue el desborde de Sterling, que se quita a un jugador y cuando recortas y de derecha le mete un derechazo, sí fuerte, raso y apenas desviado de la portería del señor Olsen.
Y todo parte de una pelota que pica muy bien Jordan Henderson.
yeah, it's nice to know that they're not.
Sterling for Maguire. Patience here from England. Sterling came off Ekdal. Trippier. Walker back to Kieran Trippier. Henderson is the player doing the pointing on the ball now. It's going to be a test of everyone's mettle. Pickford.
How good is that ball, Derek?
Decided to use Young. Kane now. Oh, that's strong attacking work from Harry Kane. Sterling. Maneuvering his way into position. Raheem Sterling. Crowded penalty area. It comes off Forsberg. Nothing there. And away by Augustinsson for Sweden.
Well, a game of cat and mouse. England was pressed in on those negative back passes. You saw Sweden squeeze out. And then Pickford's the one who initially starts that attack. Sterling rifles it there right off of Forsberg, but his arm is tucked in. Right decision. Or no decision, I should say.
Yep. Past the midway point of the first half. Lindelöf rising up to put his head to it, but this is Lingard. And England looking as though they might be able to produce something. It was fired across by Trippier.
In this little pocket of space, Lingard gets his head up. I thought Trippier was going to take a touch end line and then cut that back, but he opts to try to find Kane at that near post. Just drifts right into the path. It's the deflection that takes it right to Olsen.
It's great to have the pleasure of your company wherever you're watching around the United States on this Saturday. I must tell you that our vantage point is extremely high. Ali is not complaining about that.
There are gaps can be found anywhere. Ali once again and Lingard once again. Scrappy was the only word for that into it. But not Scrappy now, he's gone side, he's offside. Forsberg.
Lingard, Dele Alli. Just trying to poke it to the left. Dele Alli. Didn't come off for him. Toivonen. Klaassen. And Kraft forward. Now Maguire. Had trouble. Ekdal, who's the son of Lennart Ekdal, well-known caster in Sweden. Henderson attempting to smuggle it through. Ekdal. Klaassen strong on his feet. Victor Klaassen.
That was great work back by Berg there to spot Henderson.
Kane together with Gronqvist. No wrongdoing apparently. Berg. To Chester into the stride of Forsberg. Ekdal. Gronqvist. Emil Forsberg of Leipzig in Germany. He might well be playing under an American coach, Jesse Marsh, this coming season, yet to be officially confirmed by the club, although indications are strong. Gronqvist venturing forward. Shame about the pass from Andreas Gronqvist. Played against England in the Euro 2012 meeting. 3-2 defeat, long before Janne Andersson's time. Steve Holland, such a big part of the coaching story with England. Should mention Alan Russell as well, who's been very inventive, coming up with the set play routines. And England have cashed in on that front, Ali.
We really haven't seen it in this match yet, Derek. Usually England's so positive in their possession in the attacking third and forcing the fouls from their opposition. Working in the space right now from England.
Trippier. Now Henderson. It's Kraft who dealt with the situation. Klaassen trying to get something going, working with Toivonen. Victor Klaassen. His pocket picked by Dele Alli.
And the step by Stones there is so good. If he steps, he has to force them sideways or backwards, and he does his job.
Sterling. Happy to accept the pass from Young. Raheem Sterling. And returning the favour to Young. Gronqvist. Without any fuss. In there by Lingard, trying to angle it. And Trippier was up there, might still be alive for England. Finally, it was away by Ekdal for the Swedes. Walker. Stones, very much on the outside looking in with Manchester City in the second half of the season. Only 6 Premier League appearances in the calendar year of 2018. But a mainstay for England. Dele Alli. He's letting the ball bounce. Trippier. No chances taken in the end by Kraft. It is a corner to England this time.
Really well constructed by England. It was Henderson and Dele Alli combining in the center of the park just to beat that midfield line of Sweden. And then service after service right now reigning in from England as expected coming into this match.
Well, these corner kicks have worked a treat for the most part as far as England are concerned. Young with this one. England take the lead. Harry Maguire. The Three Lions are roaring again. And you've guessed it, another set-piece goal.
Harry Maguire has been so dominant in the air in this World Cup, and there he is, pressure draped all over him, the ball rifled in by Ashley Young, and he just simply beats his player to it. Over his back of Forsberg, back where it came from, down to the ground where Olsen can't get anything on it. That is a beautiful finish for a man that has been so dominant in the air.
First international goal for the Leicester City man. And Sweden, who feel they defend pretty adeptly, that set piece has come unstuck.
And an incredible mismatch with Maguire draped all over Forsberg.
Beautifully angled header. I should think his younger brother Lawrence is even more delighted that he
the Russian flu, right?
Yeah, Russian flu, according to Martin Allen, his manager, who does like a quip or two, manager at Chesterfield, saying he had to be sent to Russia to see the relevant specialist. But he better be back for training on Monday.
Who knows, he might get a little more sick.
Stones. And Lingard is running out of green space. And this much vaunted Swedish defence coming a cropper.
Derek, we were just talking about how England hadn't been able to create many set-piece opportunities. They certainly took advantage of the few they've had.
Goals from England at this World Cup, 8 from set plays.
People can quip at that, but I would argue that they're creating them. They've been incredibly brave going forward and forced these moments on their opposition.
Just 1 goal short, England, of the overall total from 1966 when they lifted the World Cup on home soil. Skewed there by Pickford, and he knows it. And just what England wanted. You can still be friends with your enemy as long as you're not
on the other side of the
pitch.
lines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Walker. Trippier. And Sterling almost got in behind Gronqvist. It's well worth the pursuit of that one. Sterling.
Yeah, no, just some counter movement there from Lingard checking off the back line and Sterling going in behind.
Stones. Don't forget there is another quarter-final later today. Russia against Croatia from the Sochi venue. You can see that with us on Fox as well. Trippier and Sterling had made that move into the middle. Gronqvist succeeded in getting his head to the ball. It was an ambitious effort from Jordan Henderson. Unable to keep the shot down.
This is them just lining up who's going to go where. And Maguire just stays centrally. Oftentimes he goes to that back post. This time he just stays at that penalty spot. Up and over Forsberg. And down into the back of the net. Fires England 1-0.
Grimaces on Swedish faces. Joy on English ones. Sweden, over the years, have been regarded as England's bogey team. A side the English don't generally enjoy facing. Didn't beat them at all, England, between 1968 and 2011. 2 of the last 3 meetings have gone England's way.
There's something about this young squad. Don't let history keep them down. They're learning from their past and paving their own way forward. I know it's early in the match still, but it's been incredibly impressive what Gareth Southgate and that staff has been able to do and ready this really relatively inexperienced squad.
It's going to be Augustinsson to deliver the Swedish free kick. Gronqvist was the man who went down just as the ball came over. Must remind you, though, in the two previous World Cup tournament meetings of the sides, Sweden came back to get draws in each case. Of course, this one has to be decided one way or the other today. Prize at stake, a place in the semi-finals. Maguire and Stones doing the shepherding back with Pickford. Just completed his first season with Everton. He'll be working under a new manager in Marco Silva. It was Sam Allardyce last time round. Kraft. Lindelöf. Sweden look to use Kraft again on that right-hand side. Berg just came off the head of Marcus Berg.
And that is where Sweden is having some success, Derek, is when their center backs and Lindelöf or Granqvist drive up through that first line of pressure of England.
Trippier, who spent his youth career, early part of his professional career at Manchester City. Didn't make it there. A big hit with Spurs this past season. Kraft. Maguire put to work once more. Well aware of the presence of Berg. Harry Maguire's goal, the difference. England nudging in front. So try to make it to the semi-finals of the World Cup for the first time since 1990. Lindelöf for Olsen. It's of Danish parentage. Robin Olsen, as the surname perhaps betrays the spelling. Think about representing Denmark at international level for a while before committing to Sweden. Lingard. And here's Walker, again playing on the right-hand prong of this back three. Young. Dele Alli going after it. It's going to trickle out of play.
Line off of service like that.
Espacio, cuidado Inglaterra, que le puede buscar las cosquillas a Suecia.
Y sobre todo Sterling en este esquema.
Course, you know, and spent so much time with Gareth Southgate, and to say immensely proud of what he's achieved. He's always been particularly stable and calm, and good fun to be around. Let's be fair.
Good intervention that from Walker, and he's moving like Billio to keep it in. Maguire to Young.
It's like a jet engine, isn't it?
You've just touched on it, that word fun. This England team seem to be having lots of it, giving us plenty to enjoy. Dele Alli, Raheem Sterling, Sterling away. Jesse Lingard went for the impish flick. Sweden maybe had the chance to break, didn't really take it. Here's Larsson.
They couldn't. England getting around them really well. This is Sterling. Just can't get enough power, can he, on that cross?
Over to Grangfist. And he missed it, but he has time to go and retrieve. Larsson. Forsberg. Forsberg's ball in, and Jordan Pickford gave a big shout, commanding one to John Stones to leave it be.
Well watched, wasn't it, by the goalkeeper? You know, they can do what they want out wide, but we have to control things in the box. We look nice and comfortable for that cross.
Larsson. Here's Trippier.
It's a hopeful ball there, wasn't it, from Larsson?
Stones. Walker. Henderson makes himself available again. And Trippier down the right. Over towards Sterling. Sterling nearly in. Lindelof at the last snuffed it out for Sweden.
Great move there, wasn't it? And Trippier, ridiculous pass that he plays there. The weight on that. Top draw.
Kane. Lingard. Sterling. He's onside. Olsen saved it, and now the flag goes up. Time seemed to stand still.
Well, it did, and Sterling wasn't to know that he was offside, and clearly he should have put that away. Oof, yes, linesman's done well. Well, he didn't do anything, it was VAR that did it. Should be putting them away.
I think Raheem Sterling just sensed that he was. I don't think he could believe it.
Well, I like to think that you're right, Guy, because that will hurt his confidence.
Why on earth is the assistant referee not raising his flag there?
Well, they're told they're not allowed to do so.
But that wasn't even a close one, was it?
For sure. But if he doesn't know, then he can't put his flag up.
Stones. Pickford. Trippier. Henderson. Sterling might be on this time. Sterling takes it. That's a super stop so far. Sterling goes on. And he took too long. It's a corner. It just won't go in for Raheem Sterling.
Well, it's almost like take two, isn't it? We're watching a replay almost. Henderson, wonderful ball. His first touch is outstanding. But the keeper, in fairness, comes out and smothers him. He just takes far too long. And in the end, they just crowd him out of it. Just there, his touch on his left foot. He's got to play that across his body with more care. Dear, oh dear.
Grangfist it was with the final block. Who's going to come out of the pack for England this time? Stones with the near run. Maguire, being held, couldn't get anywhere near it. Henderson. Young. Grangfist out. Stones couldn't direct his header. He had a totally free run onto it. England really pressing as we approach half-time. Here's Sterling. It's another England corner. The board said only 1 minute to add on. We're nearly at the end of that minute.
Well, I just hope we don't regret these missed opportunities. They can't deal with us from set pieces.
Stones again leaves the melee first. Lindelof heads out. Young. No time for another shot on Sweden's goal because it is half-time in Samara. And maybe that whistle just came at the wrong time for England because they were swarming all over the Swedes there. As it is, they have the advantage at half-time thanks to Maguire's magnificent header. Refresh yourselves, do what you need to do, and then come back for the next 45 minutes. England still need you to send them victorious. Sweden 0, England 1.
The World Cup trophy is with us in the studio, and it has a look about it. I think it wants to go home. What a beautiful looking thing that is, isn't it? Well, England are ahead at half-time. They've looked very comfortable. You know, it was never going to be a blockbuster, but overall, they've had the chances.
Very impressed with them, Gary, in that first half. Done exactly what they had to do. Comfortable on the ball, creating chances, getting balls into the box after reluctantly doing that in the first 15 or 20 minutes. Now looking for balls in behind because Sweden are playing that high line. We have the pace to hurt them, as Raheem showed there on one or two occasions, and I've seen nothing from Sweden that we should be worried about in that first half because they lack pace in that team, and England can press and press high.
Give us a neutral, balanced version, please, Jürgen.
Well, I think we discussed it before. It will take time to get into this game. You know, both teams were nervous in the first 15, 20 minutes. You know, a lot of missed passes, and it's difficult to get a rhythm. But then they settled, and especially England did really well to get more and more into the game. And you could see it coming. You could see it coming. If they get one or two or three chances, they're going to score. And what a goal it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great set piece yet again.
Yeah, and set pieces.
80% of England's goals have been from
set pieces in this tournament for England are proving vital, crucial. They've got big lumps in there. Harry Maguire has been dominant in that box, and the way he attacks his ball is just, he takes them out, get down, get out of the way, this is my ball, I want to see a route to goal, and he does it. And this is what you need to do in the opponent's box. And what they've created now within this tournament, there's a fear. You can sense a fear in opposing teams when we get set pieces because we've been so dominant.
What a header, isn't it?
Oh, it's a magnificent header. It's a very, very good ball. And you get it into that area, and you know in that England team, you've got guys who are prepared to stick their head on it and get on the end of it. And what a brilliant header.
You know what, so this is what people have been saying. Danny Rose, a natural left footer, play him out wide on the wing-back area. This is why Ashley Young's in the team. His delivery from set pieces has been exquisite in this tournament so far.
Certainly has. Goals from set pieces, England comfortably clear, as you can see there with 10. Uruguay the next best. Sweden are there as well, and so they'll need to do something in the second half. England are a clean sheet away from the first World Cup semi-final since 1990. The only issue is they haven't kept one yet. Let's see the fans' reaction around the country to Harry Maguire's sensational header. This is Leeds. Plenty of excitement, jumping up and down. It's a warm day. Croydon. Whoa. Oh, love that one. Yes, Croydon. Well played.
South London.
Nottingham, East Midlands, not bad, slightly more reserved. Croydon's a winner so far. Newcastle, come on the Geordies. Yes! The Geordies never let you down, Alan. They never let you down, do they? Yeah.
I'm surprised they're chucking a beer around.
They'll have to get another one. Raheem Sterling, he's been a constant threat. He just can't quite get his goal, can he?
Yeah, but I think this is why he's in the team. There are people that are going to be frustrated with his end product in terms of scoring goals, but what he's doing is a threat, and that's what I love from Jordan Henderson today. He's passing the ball forward. It makes him a different player, but here Sterling will be disappointed. You want him to put these chances to bed. He's got to become a bit more clinical, but what he's doing is he's putting this Swedish team on the back foot, and he can only continue doing this. He's going to get us a goal.
Great first touch as well. He's slightly unfortunate. They did it all, just the keeper just got a touch to it.
If they're going to play that high line there that we just saw, then they're going to concede chances, and it's playing right into England's hands with the pace that they've got up front. And if they can continue to just flick those balls in like that Jordan Henderson did there, with that, they're causing problems.
Yeah. So they've used that direct ball occasionally we talked about before the game.
Yeah,
against a team that deep, it's good sometimes.
You got to cut them between the lines, and that's what happened then, towards the end of the first half. Yeah. And you will get more of those opportunities second half. Yeah. And sooner or later, you're going to execute it a little bit better and score a second goal.
Not seen an enormous amount of Harry Kane in the first half, Alan. There's one chance, wasn't there, that he just pulled a little bit wide.
Yeah, it fell to him edge of the box. Forward again from Jordan Henderson, direct from Raheem when he's getting that ball. He's getting in there, and we were shouting for him to push it right, but he came inside left, and he just didn't connect with it properly, Harry, did he?
This is why Sterling's in the team, though. Yeah. He takes your team up the pitch. You've taken 25 yards up there, and the number 9's had a strike on goal. That's why he's there. Yes, we want him to hit the target and score and execute his chances are being created, but he brings a lot more to this team, and he also drops in to add numbers into the midfield area.
He's a player's player.
He is a player's player, yeah. Many of them down the years.
A few of those. One's appreciated perhaps more by players that play with him than perhaps supporters at home who might get frustrated occasionally by his finishing sometimes, Jurgen.
But I think he's always there and unpredictable. And I think, opportunities will come up the second half more. You just cannot concede in the next 15, 20 minutes a goal. Just kind of stick to the plan. Rather, instead of playing out of the bag, rather hit it long here and there just to make sure nothing happens. And then you will get the opportunities to score a second one.
Jurgen talked about perhaps everyone was a little bit nervous in the early stages of the game. England were a little bit reluctant to take a chance, a little bit reluctant to get a cross in.
Yeah, they were much more comfortable in the last 15 or 20 minutes of that game. And we saw the pass from Jordan Henderson, which is first time. And when this ball comes back into Walker here, there's a forward. Look, you've got 3 or 4 in the box. That ball can go in now. There's no harm with doing that at all. And that's how you upset these teams who are well organised. Comes to him again, then he puts it in. All right, it's a poor cross. Similar thing again. Take one touch, you knock it back. That can go into the box again. Look, you've got 4 England players in there. And there's no harm doing it because you upset them. Another touch. But we've grown into the game, and Jordan Henderson has shown that if you knock a ball first time, they're not really expecting it, and we will cause them problems if we do that.
I'll tell you what, it's up to the attacking players there, though, to Dele Alli's. That's what he lives off them type of opportunities. Tell them, you've got to be screaming at that fullback, say, I'm making moves, put the ball in the box, because that's where your best chance is going to come.
There's no question that England grew into the game as it went along. Early on, a few nervous passes. There was a possible chance for Ali to get Kane in, and he didn't quite find him.
Yeah, but I think, listen, we're a young team. We've got average, I think, is a 23, 24 cap.
distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Quickly by, waiting for something. Don't know what that was. Something in his ear. What? Everyone's waiting for him. I don't understand why we're waiting for...
The only thing I can think of is that Henderson went down in the box, and I just wonder if the VAR has said, just hold on a second, we're just checking that, because Henderson certainly dropped to the floor.
Kane then a dribble into the box, but eventually the ball taken off him. However, England's still on the attack with Young. Well, he beats one man, he tries to get that left foot cross in, blocked away. Another opportunity, ball slung into the mixer, headed away at the near post. Now a chance for Sweden to counter-attack, but again Maguire does really well, wins his header. Another chance here for Young. Can he deliver? Right-footed, rolls it to the edge of the area. Dele Alli goes one more. A chance now, a shot for Lingard, it's blocked away. Breaks to Trippier, edge of the area. England here laying siege to the Sweden goal. Ball back at the edge, to the far post. Real chance for a header. Oh, it's in the back of the net, and it's two, but Dele Alli there, well, he turns, and it's a fist bump. The fans go wild in the stadium. Sweden 0, England 2.
Yeah, that's better. It's a better ball into the box. How many times had we seen? I was just about to start ranting about the fact that we were putting balls into the box that were hitting the first man. There must have been about 4 or 5 of them. All came in. First man headed away. Poor delivery. First time somebody says, OK, we'll take that first man out. We'll loft it to the far post. There were 3 England players all there. There were plenty of time for Sweden to get reset here. They've got plenty of defenders in there. It's Sterling, actually, who's offside. Ali comes from further away, Dele Alli, to make the header. Poor defending again from Sweden. There are plenty of bodies in there, but from Dele Alli's point of view, perfectly timed run, nice header, puts it right at the keeper, but it's awkward for Olsen to make any kind of reaction from what, 2 yards in front of him. He gets his fingers to it, nothing more, and the ball rattles into the back of the net.
So was that ball in from Kyle Walker then? I think Trippier laid it back to somebody and that ball flicked in, because we were moaning about the quality of ball in from Kyle Walker, but that was an absolute doozy, wasn't it? And a great header as well. And England have grabbed that second goal. At the Samara Stadium, it's Sweden 0, England 2. And it was a great bullet header at the far post from Dele Alli. After a good, vigorous start to the second half from Sweden, but a good ball from Kyle Walker as England were laying a little bit of siege, getting good ball in after good ball. Sweden dealt with most of it, but Dele Alli coming in, unmarked at the far post, rocketed his header past Robin Olsen to give England a healthy 2-goal cushion.
Yeah, and there was certainly a moment or two when everybody looked at the linesman on the right-hand side. They looked at the referee to see if he got his hand towards his ear. Neither thing was going to happen in that sense. The replay is showing that clearly he was well onside. Here come England again with players over on the left-hand side. If Kane can get a ball out, he can, towards Young, edge of the penalty area. Dele goes on the overlap. Dele Alli into the penalty area. Can't get it in first time. Lifts it in towards the far post. He's headed away only as far as Henderson, who just pushes it onto the right-hand side for Trippier, and then a poor ball back really for Walker, and has to keep it in play on the halfway line. And eventually England will reset inside the centre circle with John Stones. And England at the moment, half an hour to go though, still changes for Sweden to come, looking comfortable.
Have I got your permission to be even a little bit excited?
You can have a slight element of World Cup fever, but I'm telling you, this is the problem with England. We've peaked too early. If you want to get to a final, you know, we don't see other countries peaking this early with World Cup fever. You peak ready for the final. You know, you build up, and I feel we may have reached the height of how far we can go here.
We don't know the rules about World Cup fever, do we? So,
no, but you watch other countries. You know, you wait until you get to a final. You know, I know for some there's an expectation they will get there, but nevertheless, you don't see Germany if they're going to get through peaking before a final, do you?
Anyway, Sweden trying to do something about it, and then now they're into the England box. The ball back to Berg. Good layoff. Shot comes in. Great save by Pickford. There's another chance there. Shot blocked away. Forsberg can't get his shot away. Pickford having to do some work there to restore or to retain that 2-goal cushion, and that's about as good as it's got for Sweden. Real opportunities there.
And that is exactly why you don't get too excited about an England side in a World Cup, because that should have been 2-1. It's a lovely little flick by Berg. It's an excellent save by Pickford. Even better from Henderson in front of him to make the block as well and stop that second ball coming in. England just got to be careful here. They've just switched off a little again. You know, you do sometimes. You get to 2-0, it's hot, it's difficult, etc, etc. It's a good strike from Klaassen. It's even better save from Pickford again. Just spreads himself beautifully, hand down, pushes it away. You know, people, he didn't push it away to one side. At that stage, you make the save and worry about where it goes after that. Henderson was across very, very quickly.
That's brilliant. Jordan Henderson there, last man. You know, much maligned, really. What's he bring to the party? He's not a great footballer. He's not going to score you goals. But that's exactly what he does. I mean, he's just a terrific engine, isn't he? He puts himself in the right place. You know, yeah, he a sort of unsung hero in the middle. And you need all sorts, don't you, to make a World Cup work. You know, we've got little bits of scurry, we've got bits of skill. Pickford, I'm not a big fan of Pickford, but I've got to say he's having a pretty good game. You know,
his confidence is rising. He's a young player. He's got ability, particularly as a shot stopper. You'd still question one or two of his decision making, and when there's crosses flying in, everything. He's not the biggest. You know, people have talked about that. He's not small, you know, and he's confident at the moment. He feels that he will make the save. So you know, it sounds silly, but from a mental point of view, it makes him that bit sharper. It makes his reactions that tiny little bit quicker, and that's what makes saves like that.
Yeah, Forsberg runs into Carl Walker, but they've still got one more ball, and then Maguire just picks it. Just toe ends that ball away from Berg, and now it's Young over the halfway line. He's bombing on, ball gets caught in his feet a little bit there, but he's got loads of support as well. Dele Alli, he's got a man on his inside as well. Lingard, he might go for Lingard, he might go for goal. He's got options now, finds Raheem Sterling, can't get the ball out of his feet. Trippier, as ever, is willing and able to take the ball on that right-hand side. England, well, there's a bit of a swagger in the step now. You know, these kids believe it, don't they? They played pretty well today, I've got to say. England, I mean, first 10 minutes, very sticky, possibly a few nerves, but they've settled into the game. They offered Sweden nothing in the first half, you know, grabbed a goal in this second, weathered a little bit of pressure, and then have come back and have been the dominant force in the game. They're much the better team, or it looks like that.
It looks like a substitution is going to be made, but I think it's Martin Olsen actually who's on the sideline, so it must be a change around of tactics here for Sweden, one would have thought, or an injury. Toivonen's coming off. Can't imagine it's the number 5 for him. It isn't. It's Guidetti who will come on for him, but certainly Olsen was on the sidelines a moment or two ago. Emil Forsberg is now sacrificed. I find that a little strange because he'd started to have an impact in this second half, finding space, but it's a tactical switch as well as a striker switch as well. Toivonen hasn't really been able to get in this game at all, as he's tried to find space, he's tried to find somewhere to play. Guidetti will come on. Here come England again.
I think that smacks of desperation, quite frankly, as Raheem Sterling into the box. He spins and he turns, and eventually he's won his team a corner kick, I fancy, or is it a goal kick? Anyway, it's a bit tight out there. Toivonen has struggled. He hasn't been a force, has struggled to get involved. Guidetti brings much the same, really. It's a corner kick, by the way. And for Olsen, he's got blind pace about him. Forsberg's definitely got more skill, but he's going to be running into Carl Walker anyway, Olsen. I'm not sure really how he can use that pace, but anyway, Trippier's got a corner kick. England again, the scattered ranks, the red shirts come in, the ball breaks into the box, it goes, an opportunity. It's headed across the face, it might just break for Maguire. Oh, and he thumps it up into the stand.
Oh, he saw the headlines, didn't he? He saw the headlines, Maguire, there as the ball came across. It was a mess again from a Sweden point of view. They were lucky. It was pinball inside the area. If it doesn't get a little flick at the near post as it comes back in, Ali and Stones were both waiting in there to try and pounce after Henderson's header. Just got a little flick off the head of Guidetti. And then as Maguire comes in, as we say, bit of adrenaline rush there for a centre-half inside the penalty area. And he hoofs it into the stand. But, again, another good opportunity for England. I'm not quite sure how that can be a goal kick unless he's given a push for the foul. Seem to point back towards the side, unless he's saying, well, I would have given a free kick here, but I'll give you a goal kick instead. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I know he was definitely pushing the back then on Carl Walker, shepherding that ball out. Look at Dele Alli's header again. He looks across sheepishly, which made me think, oh, he might be offside. But like you said, he'd started his run from way deep. And so, brilliant goal that from England's point of view. I don't mind that England are proving to be so good at, set play really, and good at crossing, all those sorts of things that, before we'd never been quite the masters of. It's tended to be that we've been undone by teams who've got, the big men in there. Now we've got the big men. But we're not a one-trick pony with it either. We've got some scurry. We've got players who get round the back. We've got players who take players on. This is a real Swiss Army knife team, isn't it, this England team? And, I think they've got different ways of beating other nations. And it's really refreshing to watch. If I'm getting a bit carried away with them, it's because I feel so unusually confident about what they're doing today.
The sides who overachieve in World Cups have a system that fits the type of players that they have, and is a system that those players have grown up with. And this is now a situation that England have finally, after many years, got themselves into. You've seen it at under 17s, under 19s, under 20, all through 3 age groups. They are comfortable in a particular system and a particular way of working. And this England side is the first one to grow up with it.
Opportunity for England, but Raheem Sterling can't find a decent ball. Dele Alli with a shot, and that's blocked away by Granqvist. There's Dele Alli now at the edge of the area. Can he turn? He's just holding the ball up there under a little bit of pressure, rolls it out with his feet, finds Raheem Sterling. I think Sterling could find a finish today. I think his all-round play has been really good. Here he scampers again, Raheem Sterling lays the ball off. An opportunity for the 7, Jesse Lingard now, finds Dele Alli. Not quite sure what that ball was about, but did it take a deflection? I'm not sure. Looks like they're all waiting for a corner kick. So, again, good play by England in around the edge of the area. Let's take another look at, so he came off there was a block off the arm of Granqvist before, but no big deal. Anyway, we're 3/4 away through the game. It's Sweden 0, England 2. Listening to Independent off Tube Studio commentary. From myself, John Hogan, and now to take us through to full time, he's Steve Pearson.
Independent in its loosest sense as Trippier puts another ball into the penalty. It flicks off the head of Granqvist, and Young is perfectly happy to watch that agonisingly slowly run towards the sideline. He does actually keep it in the end, but only midway inside the Swedish half. England just got to be careful here as Sweden push a few players forward, try and make it awkward for England. Maguire tries to chip a ball over the top, but it was a bit of a panic, I think, from Maguire as he found himself facing his own goal. Wasn't quite sure who was around him, so just played a percentage ball over the top. Got a bit too much on it in the end. Seems to have got a bit too much adrenaline running through him at the moment. Maguire, not surprisingly, with England in this situation. 20 minutes to go, 2 up.
Well, they should be excited because not only are they 2 up, but they're bullying the Sweden side. You know, they're creating chance after chance. They've got them on the back foot. There's no let-up for Sweden. You know, we've only seen them attacking fits and starts. Possession stats are still 58% for England. Pretty much throughout the piece, they've been the dominant force. And England not necessarily a possession team either. You know, they're very ruthless with what they do. They want to get good ball into the box. They're not frightened of losing the ball. I've got to say, a lot of nonsense have been talked about England in the last few years. Oh, because of the Premier League, you know, we'll never compete. Our players can't get in our top teams. I always think that's nonsense. The players who do are playing at the very highest level of football. And like we see all these guys, you know, playing with incredible players week in, week out with the world's very best. How is that not going to make them improve as players? As Maguire's got some heading to do here. Again, he gets the better of Berg. For me, I don't know, a candidate for man of the match, Maguire, I think.
We look at something like the French side. Yes, there's been Mbappe and other people, but you look at 1 or 2 players in that side. They're not playing at what you class as the highest level, are they? Pavard, the fullback, has been superb. You know, playing halfway up the Bundesliga and in Bundesliga 2 last season. So, you know, I'm not saying that's across the side. They have Mbappe, they have others as well. But, you know, there are a couple of players within this England side of you would look at world class in terms of how they're developing in this tournament. Here come Sweden, though, with space on the left-hand side. Little chip ball up into the penalty area for Berg. Again, he controls, and as it flicked over the top, it's another excellent save from Jordan Pickford, who's furious again with the players in front of him. It was a long ball downfield, flicked on, broke away on that left-hand side again for Guidetti, who'd found a bit of space. He put a decent ball into Berg. It's nothing special. And I'll tell you what, it's a good first touch and a good turn from Berg to get the strike in. He does really well. And in the end, Pickford with another excellent save from Berg. The two of them having their own individual battle at the moment as England stay 2-0 up. But a goal for Sweden, and the complexion changes as they have a corner from the right-hand side. It's lifted high towards the far post. Granqvist is pulling. The referee is looking at him. Maguire gets himself back up off the floor. Granqvist complains of the referee but heads back towards his penalty area.
Yeah, he got that covered again, Maguire, didn't he? Looking at Berg's effort, I mean, first touch is stunning, and that allows him, a left foot volley. And for me, that's going in right under the crossbar. It's a super shot, super effort from Berg, and a brilliant save from Pickford. And again, another strong candidate for man of the match. It's his third good save, isn't it? Marcus Berg header. And then we saw another effort blocked before the Henderson block off Berg, when Berg played in Klaassen. And there again for Berg, a really good effort and a really good save. It's good to see. I personally thought that keeper was the strong suit for England in this World Cup, as we see Lingard break through 1 or 2 challenges there. Got an opportunity here, tries to break through another, but Raheem Sterling, just too far, rolls the ball too far ahead of him.
Yeah, right idea, wasn't it, from Lingard. He's frustrated with himself. He's got to get back into the game. While he's shaking his head and looking around, Sweden have got on with it. And look again at the replay of the Pickford save. Again, the footwork superb from Pickford. He's in exactly the right place. He's beautifully set as well to be able to spring up for the ball or to dive left or right, depending on where the shot comes in. He knows his goal is in danger, and it's A little bit of a masterclass so far of shot stopping from Jordan Pickford, but with 17 minutes to go, he will have more work to be done as this game goes on, I'm pretty sure. As Sweden come forward now, England have just gone back into their shells a little, trying to attack on the break. A little flick down the right-hand side goes too far through, and this time Pickford has a more comfortable save to make with the ball at his feet and catches it inside his own penalty area.
At the Samara Arena, it's still Sweden 0, England 2. Jordan Pickford being worked. A strong candidate for man of the match, the England goalkeeper. He'd saved early from a Marcus Berg header in this second half. Then a good block from a Klaassen effort after he'd been played in by Berg. Then Berg again with a turn and shot that was tipped over by Pickford, doing his level best to make sure that England retain their 2-goal cushion.
Here comes Sweden again, up over halfway, but Maguire is out. 2 Sweden players left in a crumpled heap on the floor as England head off in the opposite direction. Referee not going to pull it back though, as Dele Alli tries to play a ball through. He'll try and win it back here. He'll end up with a throw-in for England midway inside the Sweden half, but there's 2 players gone down as far as Sweden are concerned. Klaassen is the one furthest back. And he and Harry Maguire having a chat as England play on. Klaassen is back to his feet. Ball is forward again, up towards the edge of the penalty area, left-hand side. England just playing keep ball at the moment for a couple of minutes, while Sweden are huffing and puffing about the fact they didn't get a decision. A couple of the Swedish players in the referee's ear as England played it back into their own half of the field. Well, we said Colombia knocked them around quite a bit and tried to rough them up the other day. England dealt with that, and they are showing signs that they've learned from that as well. A little bit more of a steely edge from this England side today.
Well, the thing is, England aren't a small side. The thing is, they're not nasty or cynical. They were asked to, sort of mix and match against Panama and then Colombia, weren't they, who had more of a ruthless streak and were a bit more crafty. What you get against Sweden is they're big, strong boys, but also they're pretty fair, aren't they? And England have stood up well against it. Yeah, we're not a small team, are we? Not by any manner of means, and they've done pretty well today. But anyway, changes now for England as Dele Alli is the first substitute. He cocking a deaf ear there as the board had gone up for him. He doesn't seem to want to go off, but it will be Fabian Delph who'll come on. The referee runs over to Dele Alli and says, oh, and he said, I never saw that board.
Yeah, all right, Dele, yes. Save it for the judge. Dare one suggest that England are actually an image of their manager to some extent then. Somebody who seems quite pleasant, calm, played the game, but Gareth Southgate as a defender could mix it when he needed to. As a manager, he's mixed it a little when he's needed to. He's shown the passion as well.
Well, do you know what? It's just a game. He's not a win-at-all-cost manager. He's very reasonable and measured. I really like that. Win, lose or draw. I mean, if they'd have lost this game, I'd have been calling for Southgate to still be at the head of it all, because I think he's a good guy. I don't want a foreign manager either. I want an intelligent England manager, and he's not too much to ask. England might not be the best team, and they might not go on and might get knocked out the next stage if they get through this. But he strikes me as a very intelligent fella doing a good job. Somebody we can be proud of, and that we don't have to be embarrassed about. Win, lose or draw, I think he's done a pretty good job.
Here England again, deep inside the Swedish half, and now they won't take any chances. They're just playing the percentage balls around. Fabian Delph gets some space on the left-hand side, puts a ball in. It falls to Kane inside the area. Good ball for Trippier, right-hand edge of the box, plays it across. Oh, and it just is sneaked away from Sterling. Great defending on the far post. I think it's Kraft, isn't it, who's got across and done really well to pull that one away. He's taken a whack on the leg for his troubles as the two players collided, but it was superb defending from Kraft, and it was inches away as well from falling into the path this time of Harry Kane. Good play from Kraft. Not actually sure whether he gets a little kick on the back of the ankle. Sterling's trying to put his foot round to angle the ball in towards goal, and Kraft as well gets across the front of him, so it's an accidental collision between the two, but that's really good defending from Kraft.
And again, people point at Sterling and say, oh, he's a bit of a lightweight and all that. Listen, he's an ace away from getting a tap in there, making it 3. He's putting himself in good position. I know he hasn't always finished, but his pace, his tenacity gets him there. as well. We see two players having a bit of a coming together at Stones then and Berg. But here's a chance for Sweden. Into the box they go with the Guidetti, but there Kyle Walker holding him off, and then Trippier with the block from the Olsen cross.
And ball breaks away for Olsen, though again he'll get a second chance to put the ball in. Young, I should say, can't quite clear it. He then gets clattered on the edge of the penalty area. Again, it's the Swedish player who ends up in a crumpled heap inside the penalty area.
He's had a difficult time in the last 5 minutes, hasn't he? He's been booted twice now. And,
he's taken one to the stomach, I think. Well, at least I hope it's the stomach, the way he was holding himself. And the referee is maybe a little lower, perhaps. I don't know. Let's have a look. He just gets on elbow, right? Isn't it? But purely by accident on that occasion, the two players collided with each other, and as you say, rather unfortunate for Kraft. Good play actually from Ashley Young to get a hand across from that. And before, as you say, John Stones mixing it in the middle. He's perfectly happy to do that. But again, just got to keep a lid on it, haven't we? It's all right showing that aggression. Don't get yourself dragged into anything silly at this stage. One or two England players on a yellow card as well. Henderson, Lingard, Walker. Can't get mixing in anything now. You're into a semi-final. You don't need the suspensions. 10 minutes left. Just keep a lid on it.
No, exactly right. Exactly right. Well, 79 minutes on the clock. Sweden 0, England 2. The Swedish fans trying to encourage their team. You know, they've got a good fan base. Plenty of yellow in the crowd, isn't there? And play stop, which just hampering their chance of getting back in. The Swedish players taking a lot of water on board. You know, easy on the eye, aren't they, the Swedish fans? Anyway, I think this game has shown what England can do. Trapdoor football, and if they're playing against an honest team who show an endeavour to get out there and give them a game, then they can play. I think it's more difficult against the cynical side. I just wonder. I think Croatia will come at them, and it'll be even Stevens. I'm not sure.
Sense that this side is starting to come of age and needs to be looked at in that kind of way. They are now a nation. I'm sure it's just swapping the dresses, ready. You want to have a chat with the Barnsley lad? Yeah, John Stones is perfectly happy.
Yeah, he's all right. The other thing